Certainly, grass was a destroyer of cars and certainly caused this one to flip. If we're so hell-bent on these cars not flipping because we think that that's a problem, what are they going to do about Las Vegas? The other issues were a car problem. This is a track problem.
NASCAR fans, you won't believe the chaos that went down in Las Vegas. Tyler Reddick just turned the Las Vegas race into his personal demolition derby. Our regular season champ came into Sin City ready to dominate. He went all in, guns blazing, but things went way off the rails. 1 minute, he's leading the pack. The next minute, boom, flipping upside down and dragging Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., and Ryan Blaney into the wreckage with him. And guess who had something to say about it? Yep, Denny Hamlin. 2311 Racing co-owner Hamlin didn't pull any punches, straight up blaming Reddick for taking things a bit too far. You gotta hear what he had to say. Hamlin didn't hold back on calling out Reddick's aggressive moves, and man, the fallout was real. He even pointed out about the issue over grass at the track with Kevin Harvick backing him up for the same. But let's be honest, could Reddick have done anything differently to avoid the flip? And what about Chase Elliott? Was there any way he could have dodged that wreck? Oh, and is Homestead Miami where Reddick finally redeems himself? Can he pull it off? Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the wild drama. Alright y'all, here's the scoop. Tyler Reddick came into the Las Vegas race hungry. He's had runner-up finishes at Las Vegas, Chicago, and Indy. And let us tell you, the dude had some serious unfinished business on that 1.5-mile tri-oval. Vegas was his shot at redemption, and Reddick wasn't just playing it cool. He was full throttle, pushing harder than ever. But it turns out, when you push too hard in NASCAR, bad things happen. Real bad. Reddick's car flipped. We are talking a full 360 in the air. And the best part? He wasn't alone in this disaster. Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., and Ryan Blaney got caught in the wreckage too.
So Reddick is up high. We'll look at the 45, the Jumpman car. There's contact. Contact maybe with Truex and Elliott. That was the spark.
Truex and Elliott side by side. I don't know if it's contact or just arrow tight, but the 9 of Elliott up the racetrack, not meaning to, catches the 45. Around goes the 45, and as the 45 gets in here, he hops onto the quarter mile and gets upside down. Crazy looking accident for Tyler Reddick in the 45.
So yeah, this wasn't just a lil bump and run. Reddick turned the race into a demolition derby on lap 89. Now here's where things get spicy, folks. Reddick's boss, Denny Hamlin, who by the way, knows a thing or two about crashes, was not happy. In his latest Actions Detrimental podcast, Hamlin straight up called out his own driver for causing the crash, and he didn't sugarcoat it one bit.
You know, you had the 19 and the 9 kind of mid racetrack, and then 19, the spotter Drew was probably telling him he was only one car outside. Well, the problem with that is Tyler Reddick was coming on the top side, on the very top side. So you got to plan for that. But in these next gen cars, you can't just turn left, and the 19's using all the racetrack and he's getting closer and closer to the 9. And as these cars get close to each other, and we've seen these aero situations, take a hard right.
Boom. Hamlin just laid it out for all of us. Reddick got a little too excited. And when you're racing at Vegas, excitement isn't always a good thing. The man was flying down the track, trying to make a 3-wide move. But here's the kicker. In these next-gen cars, that extra grip we used to have, gone. You don't get to just turn left and hope for the best. Reddick learned that the hard way. Meanwhile, as Tyler Reddick bore the brunt of a smoking wreck, it was the first crash in Vegas in a long time that gave Denny Hamlin the pretext of bashing the track owners as well. In a recent Actions Detrimental video, Denny Hamlin chided NASCAR for not being efficient enough.
The grass was a destroyer of cars and certainly caused this one to flip. If we're so hell-bent on these cars not flipping because we think that that's a problem, what are they going to do about Las Vegas? If the other issues were a car problem, this is a track problem. So are we going to fix the track problem?
Then came the shots at SMI. Marcus Smith and his trope apparently did not bother to distinguish between NASCAR and Legend cars racing plans in Las Vegas.
The Legends cars have not even run that track in the last 10 years. But they said they haven't run there in 10 years. So why is it still a track there? It might be a question for SMI, but I don't know if they run something else there or it just costs money to dig this up and we don't want to plant grass. I'm not really sure. I wish we had something, more consistency or some sort of here's an infield, here's the standard we want the infields. I certainly think that the grass was low compared to, we have some tracks where there's definitely higher. Michigan was one where definitely can grab the car. Charlotte's the best by far. They've got AstroTurf there. It's the smoothest. You can run through it.
Speaking of tough luck, let's talk about Chase Elliott for a sec. The 2020 Cup Series champ can't catch a break. After a wild postseason, Elliott was hoping for a smooth ride at Vegas. But nope. Reddick's wreckage caught him like a deer in headlights. Chase was an innocent bystander in this whole mess. And yet, here we are with Elliott, sitting dead last in the playoff standings. Now, here's where Hamlin gave Chase some sympathy.
Well, the 45 is coming with this huge run, doesn't get to the outside of the 9 until late in the corner. The 9, he wanted to back out. Chase was like, he saw this coming 3 seconds before it happened. So he tried to back out, but it was just too late. The blame probably goes, 1A is the 45, 1B is the 19. The 9 had nothing to do with any of it. Like, he was just an innocent bystander in the middle who held his lane, saw it coming, tried to back out, and it was too late.
Yeah, you heard that right. Hamlin said Chase had nothing to do with it. Poor guy just got caught in Tyler's tornado of chaos. Now, Chase is 53 points below the cut line. That's a massive hole to dig out of. And honestly, it might be a little too late for him to claw back. So, what actually caused Reddick's car to go airborne? Was it the car? The track? Nope. It was the grass. Yeah, you heard that right. The same grass that sent Ryan Preece flipping at Daytona. Harvick hit the nail on the head. The depth of the grass and how it transitions to the asphalt is sketchy, to say the least.
I hate that car turned over. I still think that's a product of the depth of the grass and the way that grass is lipped up onto that quarter mile. We saw that at Daytona. I wish that they would standardize some sort of quality of what the infield and height control of the grass and those lips, especially when you have those lips that lead into asphalt like that. Yeah. Because that's really what got that car up in the air and up off the ground, is when the car came out of the grass up onto the asphalt that turned the car over. So glad Tyler Reddick's okay.
NASCAR needs to fix that mess. We've seen this before with Preece, and now Reddick. Alright, so where does Reddick go from here? Well, with a 30-point deficit after Vegas, he's heading to Homestead, Miami, a track where he's actually a beast. Out of his last 4 starts there, he's bagged 3 top 5 finishes, but it's do or die now. If Reddick wants to punch his ticket to the championship 4, he has to win at Homestead. Martinsville? Nah, let's be real. Reddick's got 0 top 10s there in his last 4 fall races.
I think with the points gap that these guys have, I mean, it's definitely a win scenario. Yep. And I don't see Tyler Reddick. He's not winning at Martinsville, so this is his shot to get to the championship 4. Yep. He's got to go win Homestead and get himself in a position to do that. And if he does that, that really mixes the points up because of the guys that you would put out. If Tyler Reddick goes and puts his name up there with Joey Logano and wins the race at Homestead, that's going to really mix things up.
You heard the man. Reddick has to deliver at Homestead. No ifs, ands, or buts. Homestead could be his redemption or his downfall. Now, let's not forget Denny Hamlin in all of this. The man's got 3 wins and 6 poles at Homestead, so don't count him out yet. But it hasn't been an easy playoff ride for Denny either. The guy's been haunted by pit stop disasters, and just about every type of bad luck you can imagine. After Vegas, he's 27 points below the cut line. Yep, our man Denny is in a must-run top 3 situation in these next 2 races, or he's done. But here's the kicker. Denny's been in this position before. He's a veteran. He knows Homestead like the back of his hand, and if anyone can rise under pressure, it's him. But man, these next 2 weeks are going to be intense. And just when you think things couldn't get more dramatic, we gotta talk about Kyle Larson. The guy's been on a roll, winning 6 times this season. But Vegas wasn't his day either. Pit stop struggles? Yep. And he even nudged Denny Hamlin's car during stage 1. So, are Hamlin and Larson still beefing? Honestly, not really. Larson owned up to it immediately, apologizing on his radio. And Hamlin? Well, he was mad for a sec. But you know how it is in racing. Things move fast, and grudges don't last forever. Unless you're Joey Logano, of course. Now we want to hear from you fans. So what do y'all think? Can Tyler Reddick recover and win Homestead to keep his playoff hopes alive? Or will Denny Hamlin pull out a miracle to finally get his hands on that elusive cup title? With only 2 more races remaining before the championship event, who do you think will rise and shine? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get this discussion rolling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more interesting stories and updates from everything NASCAR. Do share this video with your friends. Until next time, keep the conversation going on, lucky doggone track.